So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring. And when this happens, and when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, Free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
All right. Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom.
We apologize about the no sound, but we want to give all praise to the Most High, Ahaya, Bahashem Yeshua Wa Kodash. All right, thank you guys for coming in on the Sabbath. And the title of tonight's lesson, if you guys haven't already seen it, is America Creating Racial Tension Since 1942. And I wanted to kick off tonight's lesson with the great speech from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., right? And we understand that Martin Luther King Day was actually this past Monday. And this is something that I wanted to speak about. You know, the racial tension that we see that's been stirred up, you know, throughout the four corners of the earth, especially here in America as of late. So we got to talk about this racial tension, right? America's been creating this racial tension since its inception. Since Christopher Columbus and his band of flunkies came here on ships and overtaken our brothers, you know, the tribe of Gad, the Native American Indians, right? Now, since the speech of Dr. Martin Luther King and all the marching throughout the history of here in America for our, you know, black brothers and sisters, right? Since these things took place, has things gotten better, or has America used the ignorance of our people to continue to extend this racial divide between the so-called whites and the so-called blacks, right? The one thing that I want to point out from, you know, Dr. King's speech is the great free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last, right? And then another thing that he kept saying during his speech is what? Let freedom ring, right? So now the question is, has the Negro, the so-called Negro, or the blacks, we can even say even the Hispanic brothers, the Native American Indians, has there been freedom for the black man or the black woman since Martin Luther King's speech, since the rise of our so-called black brothers and sisters like Malcolm X, right? So has there been any freedom for our people, right? Some people would say yes, there is freedom. We are free. You know, there's no more slavery. So some people relate freedom to not being a slave anymore. But we're going to investigate this, and like you guys know how I like to do. I like to go into definitions. So to kick this off, right? I'm going to go into the definition for the word freedom. Right, I'm gonna get two definitions for you tonight before we go into the scriptures. But I want everybody to understand what freedom actually really means. Okay, and I'm going to the Webster's dictionary, and I'm using an earlier translation or an earlier edition of the Webster's dictionary. Okay, I'm using a version from the year 1828, right, 19th century literature. So if you're using a new Webster dictionary, you're not going to have the same definition as me. Or if you're using a revised definition, You may not get the same definition, but let me read it for you real quick. The definition for the word freedom, as the great Dr. Martin Luther King used in his speech, the definition for that is a state of exemption from the power of control of another. Okay? Liberty, exemption from slavery, servitude, right? Or confinement. Freedom is personal, civil, political, and religious, right? Another definition it has here is a particular privilege or particular privileges, right? Franchise, immunity as the freedom of a city, power of enjoying franchises, and exemption from fate, right? Necessity of any constraint in consequence of predetermination or otherwise as the freedom of the will. Any exemption from constraint or control. So we see the key definition for freedom is an exemption from the power of control of another, right? Liberty, exemption for freedom. So one point of freedom that they actually allowed for the so-called black man and Hispanic man in here in America is what? Exemption from slavery. But you're going to come to find out that slavery never ended. There's still a group of people on this earth that's, and not just a group of people. You're gonna see that the whole economy, okay, of the American structure is under servitude. Right? We're still under the control of a system that's systematically designed to what? To oppress, to attack, and to demean groups of people on this earth, right? Another definition I want to get is the definition called race, right? So the definition for race, right? Here it says here is the lineage of a family or continued series of descendants from a parent who is called the stock. A race is a series of descendants indefinitely. Thus all mankind are called the race of Adam. The Israelites are of the race of Abraham and Jacob. Thus we speak of the race of kings and the race of Calvins or Carmelians, or a race of nobles. So we see that a race is basically designed or is basically represented by a race of people by their lineage, by the race of their fathers. So by definition, we can say that there is a race or a family of people who are being restricted or being denied freedom. Okay? So through the definitions, we can narrow it down and say that through definition, there is a race of people. When we look at what's going on around us, when we look at the news, when we look at secular history, when we look at the history that we was taught about ourselves, we can say that there is a race of people who are being denied certain freedoms. Okay? And how is this being done? Right? Let's go into the Bible now. Because we understand that not every race of people or not every family of people here on American soil are subjected to the same rules. Because what was happening during slavery and what was happening after slavery with Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and some of the other black activists, okay, this was a result of a race of people being denied certain freedoms. Right? So now let's investigate what's been happening to this race of people, and why is it that this certain group of people or this lineage of a family of a group of people, okay, were put under the restrictions of not having certain freedoms. Okay? Now let's start off with we're going to go to the book of Revelations. We're going to start there. So we're going to go to the book of Revelations 12 and 7. So what we're going to try to do is we got to first identify where this racism has come from. Why is there a systematic plot against a race of people that seems to never get any better? I mean, we march all the time. We protest. Okay. We've boycotted under Dr. Martin Luther King. crippled the whole transportation system in the South. Okay? Now we even got Black Lives Matter now. Right? Let's see where's the source of this racism? Why isn't that this group of people or this race of people cannot find a solution to what's called freedom? Okay? Revelations 12 and 7. Start there.
Revelations 12, verse 7.
Go ahead.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. Verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Okay, so we see here there was a war in heaven, right? Where Michael and his angels fought against Satan. Because before that, prior to this time, Satan had full access to go back into the heavens, okay, to accuse the brethren, okay? So but now we see that he was kicked out of heaven. And read that last verse again. Read verse 9 again.
From the top?
Yeah.
Verse 9.
Listen to this.
And the great dragon was cast out.
And the great dragon was cast out of heaven after that war. Go ahead.
That old serpent called the devil.
Go ahead.
And Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
Which deceiveth the whole world. So now he's been casted out of heaven. Now he's brought on earth to deceive the world. But go ahead, continue reading.
He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
So see that? So Satan had no more right to go into the heavens to accuse the brethren anymore. Spread lies and try to condemn those who condemn those who was following the Most High. Right? As he was already condemned. But go ahead.
Which accused them before our God day and night.
Go ahead.
Verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
Okay.
And by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth.
So now it's saying here, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth. So because he had a controversy up in the heavens, now there's a controversy now here on earth. You're gonna understand what this is about now. Go ahead, read that again.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Go ahead.
For the devil is come down unto you.
The devil has now come down unto earth, right? Go ahead.
Having great wrath.
Having great wrath. Go ahead.
Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
I want you guys to remember that he has great wrath, right? Go ahead.
And when the dragon saw that he was cast out unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. So
now it says here, this might sound confusing to some of you guys. It says he persecuted the woman who brought forth the man-child. Some pastors would like to write this off as this is allegorically speaking. It's symbolic. But we understand that the woman that he's persecuting represents the children of Israel or the nation of Israel. And it says that he's persecuting the woman that's persecuting. He's persecuting the woman that brought forth the man-child. What's that man-child? That man-child was Christ. So we understand that Christ came out of the lineage of Israel, but he's persecuting the woman that brought forth Christ for a specific reason. Because you're going to come to find out at the end of this, by the time this lesson is done, that Christ came to deliver us from what Satan was creating on this earth, what he was doing on this earth. And only through the blood of the Lamb would this woman's seed overcome what he's doing. This is what we have to understand. So now you're going to understand why this systematic racism is not going to be dealt with through marching and protesting and Black Lives Matter and any of these things. This is the reason why Satan is persecuting the woman that brought forth the man-child, because these are the people that he's coming back to help and to save. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle.
So the Most High allowed refuge to the nation of Israel for a time in the wilderness. Go ahead.
That she might fly into the wilderness,
You see that? Go ahead.
into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times and half a time from the face of the serpent.
Go ahead.
And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman.
So now, to try to defeat the woman, or the nation of Israel, what did Satan devise? What did he plan? What did he create? He created a whole bunch of different philosophies and religions and different ways of life to try to attack the woman, to make the woman, or to make Israel lose their way from understanding who they are. Right? Now you're going to understand what religion is about. Right? Or these different walks of life and these different understandings. Go ahead.
And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
That he might cause her to be carried away by the flood. Losing your identity. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And the earth helped the woman.
See, the earth helped the woman. Go ahead.
And the earth opened up her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
And how was that possible? Through the records of our fathers. Right? We was able to find records of our father that was hidden in the earth. Okay? Like records of the Dead Sea Scrolls and other records that was hidden in earthen jars. These records was able to break the doctrines that Satan actually brought up on the earth, knowing that we would go into captivity and lose our way of life. So the Most High had to make a way to preserve a lot of our documents so that way we could come back to the right and true knowledge and understand what time it is. Understand that we was born into a war. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
See that?
And went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
So now you're going to understand how this racial and who's behind this racial tension. It said that the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. You see that? So now you get a clue why it seems like all the other races or all the other nations on this earth could live in peace, but when it comes to the Black and Hispanics and the Native American Indians, right? There's always something going on. There's always racial slurs, racial tensions. We went through slavery, and that's still not enough for them.
Profiling.
There's racial profiling. What is it about the Black man and woman on this earth and the Hispanic man and woman on this earth that the other nations just can't leave us alone? You're gonna come to find out that this is not by accident. This is all by design. Okay? By the one who's actually orchestrating this, Satan. He's making war with the remnant of the seed of Israel. He has a problem with the remnant of the seed of Israel. And you're going to come to find out that not only does he have a problem with the remnant of Israel, he has a problem with all mankind. Why? Because we are the image of the Most High. He hates the image of the Most High. Okay? We were made in the image of the Most High. No matter what race you are, black, white, okay, Chinese, we were all made in the image of the Most High. Okay? And in the time of creation, the book of Adam and Eve tells us that Satan, or when Adam was created in the image of the Most High, Satan was commanded to worship man because why? It is the image of the Most High. So if you can't bow down, if he can't worship man, that means he wouldn't worship the Father because we were made in his image. And he felt distraught because why? He said to the Most High, like, look, I'm senior than the man in creation. I was made first.
He's immortal.
He's immortal. I'm immortal. He should be worshiping me. When the Most High is looking at him like, yo, if you can't worship my image, that means you have no respect for me because they were made in my image.
The whole time.
The whole time. You understand that? So this is the controversy, or this is the problem that Satan or Lucifer actually has with the human race, or with mankind, I should say. Okay, so it's deeper than just black and white, right? But the reason why the battle is more so fueled through the black race or the Hispanic race or with the Native American Indians is because why? These are the people that Christ came from. And these are the people that are prophesied to defeat Satan and all his doctrines and all his and whatever he's doing on this earth. These are the people that Christ will save and will reign over everything and put him under subjection. This is the reason why the battle is more so fueled with the chosen people than the other races of this earth. Finish what you got there.
And they went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
See, he went to go make war with the remnant of the seed, right? Predominantly the children of Israel. Go ahead.
Which keep the commandments of God.
Which keep the commandments of the Most High. Go ahead.
And have the testimony of Yeshua Christ.
And have the testimony of who?
Yeshua Christ.
And have the testimony of Christ. These are the people by blood that is connected to the man that is prophesied to destroy Satan, to defeat Satan and his army. This is the beginning and the origin of racial tensions of this earth. And what does America do? What does America do? They play on this, and we're going to show you. They play on this. They play it on both sides. Okay? Knowing that this is Satan's agenda. Okay? So now we see that that water that was cast out as a flood. You're going to find out that every religion, okay, every different way of life, every organization like Black Lives Matter or any black supremacist groups or white supremacist groups, any kind of organization that speaks about self-empowerment, the LGBTQ community, all of these different factions was actually set up by Satan to fuel what? To have division on earth, to fuel racial tension, to see yourself rather than to see the Creator himself. That's what these different things or these different organizations was created for. To say, you know what? We are gods. Let's worry about our community. Let's build us and not use the power that was actually creating us to serve him. Let's forget about the Creator and let's use us. Let's create these different religions, these different walks of life. And this in turn eliminates the Father. Now you're going to find out the reason why this happened. Like we said earlier, Satan hates the image of the Most High. He is against the Most High. So anything that promotes the Most High, he's going to say, you know what? We don't need the Most High. Let's empower you. Because why? He was empowering himself. Okay? He didn't want to worship the Most High. Okay? So anything that you see that's taking you away from the Most High, the Creator himself, that was set up by Satan himself. Okay? Let's go to 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 10. I want to bring this out. Verse 3. Start at verse 3. Right?
2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh.
Though we walk in the flesh.
We do not war after the flesh.
You see that? So Paul was saying, though we walk in the flesh, we do not war in the flesh. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
So, because the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. So right here, Paul is already explaining that, this racial tension, this war that we're fighting right now is not flesh and blood. You can't march this thing out. You can't boycott this thing out of here. You can't sign a petition to get this thing out of here. Okay, you can't set up Black Lives Matter to get this thing out of here, because the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. We can't fight this thing out because what's happening is actually spiritual, and that's what everybody is ignoring. All of our great men these were great men. Martin Luther King, right? Malcolm X. These men are great men, great speakers. Louis Farrakhan. These guys are great men, but there was a key element that they was missing to help us win what we actually needed to win, which was freedom for our race. Right? Continue reading.
In the middle of verse 4.
Yeah.
But mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 5. Casting down imaginations.
So this is what we're actually supposed to do. Okay? Because we understand that this weapon is not carnal. I mean, this warfare, this battle and this fight is not carnal. So in order to operate correctly in this fight that we're in, this racial struggle that we're living in, this time that we're living in, we're actually supposed to do what? Read verse 5 again.
casting down imagination.
We're supposed to cast down every imagination that what?
And every high thing.
And every high thing, every high knowledge, everybody who claims they have the answer, everybody who claims this is the way of life, this is what we need to be doing, this is how we're going to be saved, this is how we're going to actually obtain freedom. We got to cast these things down. Go ahead.
Every high thing that exalteth itself.
That exalteth itself.
Against the knowledge.
Against the what?
Against the knowledge.
Against the knowledge.
Of the Most High God.
Of the Most High God. You see that? So first and foremost, before we do anything, if the Most High is not being exalted in it, and you're telling me it's all about me and we are gods and it's all about self, it's all about knowledge of self.
Yeah.
You're far from winning this battle. Because why? The Most High is going to fight our battles. Not a man, not a march, not picket signs, not boycotts. Because you're going to come to find out that this whole thing that we're living right now was actually designed to be this way. That's why it kills me when people say, well, we're going to march, we're going to do this, we're going to protest, it's not going to help. Okay? It will never help. Because the Most High is trying to paint a picture here. This whole time we've been striving to fight against something that was designed for us not to even win. Unless we came back to the Father. So read that again.
Verse 5. Casting down imaginations.
Yep.
And every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing into captivity.
So we must bring into captivity what?
Every thought.
Every thought.
To the obedience of Christ.
To the obedience of Christ. So now why do we need to bring our thoughts into the obedience of Christ? Because remember, as we learned in past lessons, that what? The schoolmaster, which was the law, brings us to who? To Christ. And Christ ultimately brings us back to the Father, which also brings us back to keeping these commands. So without these commands, without a written rule, without a written law, there's nothing we can do to get out this struggle. Because the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. The struggle that we've been born into was not designed by our mere man. Satan, who hates the image of the Most High and who hates the woman's seed, which is Israel, and who's against Christ because he understands what Christ is coming to do, set this up. Okay, so unless we address what's behind the pickets fences or the picket signs and the boycotts, what's behind the racial segregation, what was behind slavery, what was behind all these things, we will never be able to receive that freedom for our race of people. Okay? Mm-hmm. So since the weapons of our warfare is not carnal, right? How do we defeat this system? Because we was born into a system, okay, that was set up for us to fail. During the time of slavery, I believe in 1782, if I'm not mistaken. All right. In our Constitution, it was actually written that a slave man or woman, or was counted with the slave man, was counted as 3/5 of a man. Was counted as 3/5. So, like if we were slaves, if I was a slave back in 1782, all right, when they was doing the census, I wouldn't even be considered a full man. I wouldn't even get counted as a full man. I was 3/5 of a man. So that's right there is telling me that even the laws that was actually, instituted in this system was not made for the black woman or man, Hispanic woman or man, the Native American woman or man. Okay? It was not made for us. They didn't have us in mind when they created this system. When Christopher Columbus came here in 1492, all right, what did they do? They seen the tribe of Gad or the Native American Indians, and what they did, they slaughtered them.
They learned from them first.
They learned from them first.
They learned how to survive.
They learned how to survive in this climate because Gad was surviving here hundreds of years before they came, and they gave them blankets filled with smallpox to kill off majority of them.
Imagine that.
Okay, this system will never be for our people. This system will never give us equal rights, as what they say. Yeah, you can get a job now, You can get a degree if you want to. Yeah. Okay. You could even work for the system if you want to. All right. But this racial, the racial lines will never change. The racial oppression will never change. Okay. The systematic oppression of our people will never change, because in their eyes, we're not even counted as people. Okay. But there's a hand that's orchestrating this whole thing, which is Satan, Lucifer. Okay. The fact that we lost our way of life and we walked away from the commandments, Satan had every right to do what he's doing to us right now. But those who keep the commandments of the Most High and of Christ, there is a hedge over those people, and he has no right to systematically oppress and destroy. Right? So now let's start with Christ. Let's read about what Christ was brought on this earth to do. Right? Remember, we just read in Revelations that Satan made war with the woman that brought forth the man-child. So Satan is obviously upset of what Christ is coming to do for those who he is systematically against. Okay? Let's go to Luke, the 4th chapter. Take it at verse 28. Okay? Luke 4:28. Let's read this. Let's get some understanding.
Luke 4:28. And all day in the synagogue, when they heard these things, were filled with wrath. 29. And rose up and thrust him out of the city.
Wait, matter of fact, I'm sorry. Start at verse 16. I'm sorry. 16? Yeah, we're supposed to start at 16. Started at the end.
All right.
Luke 4:16.
Luke chapter 4:16.
Yeah.
And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written. Verse 18, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor.
So this is what Christ was born to do. To preach the gospel to the poor. Go ahead.
He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted.
He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted. Go ahead.
To preach deliverance to the captives.
To preach what?
Deliverance to the captives.
To preach deliverance to the captives. Go ahead.
And recovering of sight to the blind.
And recovering of sight to the blind. Go ahead.
To set at liberty them that are bruised. To preach the acceptable year of the Most High.
To preach the acceptable year of the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 20.
Yep.
And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister and sat down. And the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. And he began to say unto them, this day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears.
So you see that? So Christ was showing them, and this was a big statement, that I am the one who is coming to save the lost, who is coming to save the systematically oppressed, who is coming to stop that racial tension, that racial divide on this earth for my people. It's me. Now we're reading this in this day and age. Now we can see we've been doing it wrong this whole time. The one who was sent to save us from the hands of our oppressors, we've been ignoring. Okay? The one that was sent to stop the whole black and white thing, we've been ignoring. We've been protesting without Christ. We've been boycotting without Christ. Okay? This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to turn to Christ, because this is what he was called to do for us. Because the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. This is not a battle that we can physically fight. We will lose 100% of the time.
They got everything.
Yeah. We will lose. And now that's the question I want everybody to ask themselves. What has changed since Martin Luther King passed away and was murdered in cold blood, who stood for a cause? What has changed for our people since Malcolm X was killed and murdered for a cause? What has changed since Louis Farrakhan came up since Al Sharpton came up, or even since we had a black president, so-called black president. What has happened since these things has been set up here in America for our people? Has anything changed? Okay, nothing has changed, right? We're gonna explain this we're gonna explain this, okay? Because we got to get to the bottom of this, and we got to share this with our people. We've been doing it wrong this whole time. Yes, these were great men that stood up for our people, who were speaking out against injustice. Yes, okay, we were trying to fight for something, and we were tired of this oppression, but we will never receive or obtain that freedom that our race really needs, because it's not going to be given or delivered by a mortal man.
Right.
Okay? Read Matthew 11 and 28 for me, please. Right?
St. Matthew chapter 11, verse 28.
Let's listen to what Christ is telling us.
Come unto me.
Come unto me. Because why? He's saying come unto me. Why? Because he was sent for our cause. He was sent to deliver and to set the captives free.
Right.
He was sent to stop this racial divide. This is what you have to keep in mind, brothers and sisters. The Christ that we've been learning in these churches is not the Christ that we're reading right now in this book. The Christ that we're reading about in the Bible was a revolutionary. Mm-hmm. That same spirit that was in those great men like Martin Luther King came from Christ, but it wasn't time yet. Go ahead.
Come unto me.
Come unto me.
All ye that labor.
All ye that labor.
And are heavy laden.
And are heavy laden. Aren't we heavy laden? Aren't we tired of this labor? And we're supposed to be so-called free? Waking up, doing and going, working a 9 to 5, missing years of our children's lives. Giving us the right to vote like it really matters.
Can't say that to some people.
You really can't, because they believe in marching.
They'll curse you out. That's my vote. You know how that's my vote.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Christ said, come unto me. So we've been going to a mortal man and bypassing Christ. Read that again.
Verse 28.
Yeah.
Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
And I will give you rest. Go ahead.
Verse 29. Take my yoke upon you.
Christ is saying, take his yoke upon us.
And learn of me.
And learn of me. Because if we learn of Christ, we'll learn how to get out of this mess. Christ was never marching and protesting against the Roman government. He didn't do that. Our people was oppressed during that time too. He didn't say, yo, you know what, we're gonna set up some picket signs and we're gonna march around Rome for them to stop taxing our people. What he did, he taught them how to free their mind, how to better themselves, how to treat each other and build Jerusalem, build Zion. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And learn of me.
And learn of me.
For I am meek and lowly in heart.
See, I am meek and lowly of heart, just like you. I know what you're going. He knows what we're going through. He's of our blood. He knows. Go ahead.
And ye shall find rest unto your souls.
You see that? So through Christ, we will find rest unto our souls. We won't have no worries about what they're doing to our people. It wouldn't affect us. We wouldn't just be marching for a cause that will never change. Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Verse 30. For my yoke is easy.
He said, my yoke is easy. What you're going to learn from me, what you're going to get from me is easy to do. Go ahead.
And my burden is light.
And my burden is light. You ain't going to have to go through what the system has put you through if you come under me. What is this is Christ saying here? It's what he was teaching. Right? Let's go to 2 Chronicles. 2 Chronicles chapter 7. Now I want you to take it at verse 14. This is what our people have to understand. like I said, marching is not going to fix anything. That video that I played in the beginning of the lesson, did you see how much people packed Washington, D.C.? There was 250,000. Okay, it could have been even more. Those people packed Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, to try to get freedom for a race of people. They tried to seek freedom in the hands of the system that designed their destruction. Okay? What happened after that? The man behind the cause was murdered in cold blood. They was painting a picture and telling you, we don't care about your freedom. When they did that, they was telling you, we don't care about your cause. But yet we still march. Okay? We put up the American flag, okay, in the front of our homes. We pledge allegiance to the flag. You pledging allegiance against your freedom. Some people might come across this video and say, well, if you hate it here so much, why don't you leave? Okay, I'll leave. But there's something that they have to do. They have to repay what they've stolen. You can't just expect me to leave and not receive a payment for what my people been through. Right? Mm-hmm. 2 Chronicles 7 verse 14.
2 Chronicles 7 and 14.
This is what the Most High is calling his people to do. The race of people that's being oppressed. And not just his race of people, but those who feel oppressed.
If my people, which are called by my name.
And we understand that the children of Israel was called by the name of the Most High. But now he's speaking directly to these people who is seeking freedom, who is seeking rest. Okay, the Most High is speaking directly to these people, because we can all agree, right? With this racial tension, there is a race of people who is receiving worse treatment than other people on this earth. That's an undeniable fact. Okay, for someone to say that all people is being oppressed, all people suffer, that's showing me that you don't care about my race. Yeah. You don't care about my people. Yes, all people are being oppressed. Yes, all people are servants right now. But there is a group of people on this earth that are suffering more than other people. So these people have to receive some type of rest. Yeah. Okay, some type of acknowledgement. We have to talk about that. There's a big elephant in a room, and everybody is scared to say who put this elephant there. Yeah. There's no space for nobody to fit, but everybody want to squeeze it. Like, yeah, it's mad room in here. There's a big elephant taking up all the space, but no one want to address the elephant.
Mm-hmm. As soon as you go in the store,
we get looked at.
All surrounded.
You understand? So we got to talk about this. We can't tiptoe and tap dance around it. This subject. But yeah, we're not going to talk about it amongst ourselves, but we're going to march publicly. We're going to march and show the people who's doing this, okay, we want freedom. We want change. You ain't going to get no change, because the Most High is speaking to you, and you fail to listen. What is the Most High saying to you? Read that again.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves.
Shall humble themselves. So to humble yourself, you can't be talking about, so you can't be on some, oh yeah, you ain't know, brother, we are gods. Oh, if you are a god, change your situation. You can't even change your situation, but you want to tell me that you're a god. We the original black man. Okay, if you're the original black man, why were you a slave? We were kings and queens. Oh yeah? So what are you now? A slave. So the Most High is calling these people. If you will just humble yourself and do what?
And pray.
And pray.
And seek my face.
And seek my face. Not a cause. We're not going to rally and march in front of Washington, D.C. for freedom, for help, for equality, like as they would so-called say. Because according to their constitution, you are not even a full person. shall seek my face, go ahead,
and turn
from
their wicked ways.
And turn from their wicked ways. That's talking about your own way of life. You weren't called to live the way you are living currently. That wasn't your natural way of life. The records of our fathers tell us that we had a God that we served, that we obeyed. And through this obedience of serving him, we received everything. Because of our disobedience, we've lost everything, and now we are subject to racial profiling and being called 3/5 of man. Go ahead.
Turn from your wicked ways.
Turn from your wicked ways.
Then will I hear from heaven.
Then will he start listening to our prayers and hear us from heaven. Go ahead.
And will forgive their sins.
And will forgive our sins. Go ahead.
And will heal their land.
And will heal their land. Go ahead.
Now mine eyes shall be open.
And then once we humble ourselves and turn to him, then will his eyes be open. And what?
And mine ears attent unto the prayer that is made in this place.
And he will start to hear his people and deliver us from this systematic oppression that's been destroying our people since 1492 and even before that. It's written right here. We've been skipping past this whole time and looking at a man for our salvation. And every time we rise up, we raise up a man, our captors bring him down. Every time we raise a man that's not Christ, the Most High brings him down. Because that's not the man that needs to be exalted. Christ must be exalted. We've been missing it. Right? To precept that, go to Proverbs 3 and 5.
Proverbs 3 verse 5.
Listen to this.
Trust in the Most High with all thine heart.
So we need to trust in the Most High with all thy heart. Not in a cause, not in a protest, not in marching. I mean, 1 million people marched with Jesse Jackson. Did anything change? 1 million. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Go ahead.
And lean not.
And what?
Lean not.
And lean not
unto thine own understanding.
Unto your own understanding. Well, I feel like if we continue doing this, a change gonna come. You know what? We're gonna boycott this place and not buy from here. Okay? And it's gonna change.
I was told the earth is God. And once we start worshiping the earth, we'll get back to our original state, I was told.
Lean not on your own understanding. So people have created a God for themselves to explain their situation when they should be searching for the one who created them. Go ahead, continue reading.
What an imagination.
Casting it down.
Verse 6. In all thy ways acknowledge him.
In all thy ways acknowledge the Most High. Go ahead.
And he shall direct thy paths.
And he shall direct our paths. He wouldn't lead us to go and march and protest. We would already understand what the deal is. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes.
Be not wise in thine own eyes.
Fear the Most High.
Fear the Most High.
And depart from evil.
And depart from evil. This is what we need to start doing as a people. This is what we need to start going back to. Okay? And not relying on a man to bring us deliverance. Setting up a man to go against a system will always fail. Trusting in the man. Okay? So after we do this, after we start seeking the Most High, and we start leaning on the Most High's knowledge and understanding to bring our people back from this destitute state, what do we need to do? Let's go to the book of Zephaniah. Right? Zephaniah 2 and 1. Read this, please.
Zephaniah 2, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Gather yourselves together Yea, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired.
So not until we come back to the Most High, we can start gathering now. Okay? The Most High is saying, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Who are the people who are not desired? Who are the people that were segregated against in this country? Who are the people that were lynched, robbed, murdered, taken from their land, forced to be slaves? Okay? Who is these people that are not desired? The Most High is commanding us to gather ourselves together under him and do what?
Verse 2. Before the decree bring forth.
Before the decree bring forth.
Before the day pass and as the shaft. Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
So we need to be gathering under his understanding before he comes and corrects. You're going to come to find out our people have been living under the hands of the Most High's anger for a long time. We haven't been coming together under one understanding under him to figure this out. But we went through every other path, other way of life, other religions to try to explain our condition, to try to seek redemption. But we haven't tried the Most High. Go ahead.
Before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Verse 3. Seek ye the Lord.
You see that? We need to be seeking the Lord together, the Most High together. We are the nation that's not desired. We got to figure out what's going on with us before we could try to see what the other nations is doing against us. How are we going to seek redemption and freedom from the people who's oppressing us when we don't even know why we like this? We're just marching. Okay? A white cop kill a black boy, everybody marching. But two black people killing each other, no one march for that? No one come and protest when we killing each other? No one coming together and protest when we robbing and stealing and raping each other? So if we can't correct ourselves first, how we going to expect them to even take us serious? You're marching for a wrong cause. Go ahead.
Seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness. Seek meekness.
Seek meekness.
It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
And maybe we will be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. Okay, because it's coming. The judgment is coming. All right? A lot of our people is going to continue to be carried away in what they're doing. Not everybody's going to be saved through this. There's going to be people who still going to march and think that we could receive some type of change here in America for our people. Since we were bought here on slave ships, it's been the same. To be free is to be free of a power of another person. That's freedom. Having your own land, that's power. That's what these other nations understand. If you don't have a land to go to and rules to govern that land, you don't have no power. You don't have anything. So as long as you're here, you're still under the power of the people who is oppressing you. That's what you have to understand. People does not understand that. You think if I have a kingdom, I'm going to allow a different race of people to come and protest for me to change what I'm doing in my kingdom? No. It's either you live here and follow what I'm saying to do, or you can leave. Our people will never understand that because they were sold a dream. At one point in time, we were sold that dream too. But it's not until you seek the Most High and find Christ and understand who you are, you can break the curse of that dream and understand that something is not right. We've been doing something wrong. Right? So once we start gathering together, once we understand, once we come together and find out the cause of our issues and understand that it's not going to be through a march we're going to save this, what do we need to start doing to our people? Go to the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 3:30. Right? Because the first thing we do, when we obtain who we are and the Most High reveals to us the knowledge of who we are and what's going on, the first thing we want to do is point the finger right back at those who's hurting us. right? We want to march. We want to fight back, right? What the Most High said here.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 30.
Yeah.
Strive not with a man without cause,
Strive not with a man without a cause,
if he have done thee no harm.
if he have done thee no harm. Your life is not being threatened. Okay, if you're not, in immediate danger of death, someone's not physically trying to hurt you, don't seek to hurt these people. Right? Their laws is going to be their laws. You can't change it. Their laws against us will be their laws against us. We live here. You have to, you just gotta go, you just gotta operate under their laws. That's their laws. When you try to fight against their laws, then they show you who's boss. Okay? This is the weapon of our warfare is not carnal. Go ahead.
Verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy not thou the oppressor.
And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways. What he's done to us, we're not going to do to them. It's not designed to be like that. We've been brought here because we're serving a curse. We're living out our punishment. We have to understand that. A lot of our people don't even understand that we're under a curse. We're serving a punishment for a length of time. It's like a prison sentence. The Most High is putting us through this until he redeems us. After the prison sentence is done. We have to understand that. Trying to seek freedom before the time of it is impossible. That's what the Most High has been showing through what our people have been doing throughout the history of America. Marching and protesting. You're doing it for no reason. Right?
Right.
Go to Romans 12. Romans 12 and 17. Right? More on this. Read that for me.
The book of Romans chapter 12 verse 17. Recompense to no man.
Recompense to no man.
Evil for evil.
Evil for evil. Okay? Just because they've done evil to us, we're not supposed to devise evil against them. It's never going to work. They have the upper hand because these are their laws. And the hand that's behind their laws is the one who hates Christ, Satan, Lucifer. Spiritual hand, right? Go ahead.
Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
Provide things honest in the sight of all men. Go ahead.
Verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Live peaceably with all men. Go ahead.
Verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves.
Avenge not yourselves. Don't take it upon yourself to avenge yourselves. Why? Go ahead.
But rather give place unto wrath.
See? Go ahead.
For it is written.
It is written.
Vengeance is mine.
Vengeance is who?
Is mine.
Vengeance is mine, says the Most High.
I will repay, saith the Most High.
He will repay. See that? We've been missing it the whole time. No amount of protesters is going to fix this. No boycott, no petitions, no marches, no war against police is going to fix this. That's what we have to understand. We have to get to that understanding. We have to teach our people this because it's to no cause. They're missing the person or the power that is keeping them in this systematic system of racism, this race tension, this race war. Is by design. We were born into this in this period of time. Okay? Romans 2 and 7. I want to get that too. Listen to this. So there's going to be some people that's going to be for our cause. And as you can see, there were Caucasian people, white people walking with Dr. Martin Luther King. That's because it's deeper. You gotta understand it's deeper than white and black. Right? But America just plays on white and black because that's just the two main races. They play on that. Now is the whites against the Arabs, Donald Trump and them. It's deeper than that. Okay, because why? The one who's orchestrating this, which is Satan, hates all mankind. It's not just us. He just hates us a little bit more. Because we got the same blood that runs the same blood that runs through Christ runs in us. So he hates us a little bit more. But he hates all of us. So we're all in the same boat. They just have an upper hand. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Read this real quick.
Romans chapter 2, verse 7.
Yeah.
To them who by patient continuance in well-doing seek for glory and honor and immortality, eternal life.
What verse you at?
Romans 2 and 7.
Go ahead.
Verse 8. Verse 8. But unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation, and wrath.
So anybody who's going to live wickedly and continue to oppress our people and continue to destroy our people through the systematic design of racism, what the Most High said?
From 8?
Yeah, he says, unrighteousness, indignation, and wrath. Those who live unrighteousness. Those who choose to continue to not obey. Those who continue to live wickedly and do evil things to our people. The Most High will repay them with what? Indignation and wrath. Right? Because there's going to be, you're going to run into some people who's just not going to like you because of the color of your skin. That's a given. They have bought into the lie that was sold by Satan. They brought into it, not knowing that Satan hates them too. So that you're going to run into those people. But if they continue to live like that, they're not gonna go unpunished. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 9. Tribulation and anguish.
Tribulation and anguish.
Upon every soul of man that doeth evil.
You see that? Upon every soul of man that do evil. Doesn't matter if you're white or black. You do evil, the Most High is going to punish you. So those who do evil against our race will get punished. And those of our race who do evil will get punished as well too. So it's full circle with the Most High. Go ahead.
Of the Jew first.
Of the Jew first.
And also of the Gentile.
And also of the Gentile. Go ahead.
But glory and honor and peace.
But glory, honor, and peace.
To every man that worketh good.
To every man that worketh good.
To the Jew first.
To the Jew first.
And also to the Gentile.
So those of the different races that help our people try to obtain this freedom, the Most High will bless them. The Most High will hear them out. Look, I want to play this video. Okay, I'll play this video to show you that there are some people that are trying to fight for our cause. Okay, but it will be the Most High's hand that will protect us. Okay, so not everybody is evil. Not everybody is wicked. Just want to put that out there. The system is evil. The system that was put in place is evil. But the people that live in this system may not necessarily be all evil unless they brought into the lie. Look at this.
Racists who will stir up hatred in this country will not be allowed in this country, and if they come to this country, they'll be arrested. You cannot stand up to horrible racism or pretend to do so and invite the man in through the front door.
Action is needed now, not a slap on the wrist. Cancel the state visit.
Secretary.
The fact that the 45th president chose to retweet material from Britain First is not just offensive to British people of Muslim heritage, it is offensive to all decent British people.
He has disgraced himself again and again, and he worries us because his impulsive finger is on the nuclear button. If he's allowed to come to this country now, he should be treated as anyone else who breaks the law and charged with inciting racial hatred. The government should withdraw the invitation.
Right-wing extremism of the sort we have seen retweeted is just as hateful, just as dangerous as any sort of radical Islamist type.
Isn't it irony that the President of the United States, who loves Twitter and talks about fake news, actually retweeted fake news?
This is the President of the United States sharing with millions inflammatory and divisive content. By sharing it, he is either a racist, incompetent, or unthinking, or all three.
So you see, it's not just a black and white thing anymore. Because we see white people standing up for equality too now. You see that? This now is deeper than just, like I said, it's deeper than just black and white. Satan is behind this whole thing. So we have to identify what's doing this and stand together against that. You see that? Racism even white people now are speaking out against racial equality. That was people in the UK, the Parliament of UK. Okay, speaking out against another Caucasian person, Donald Trump. So not everybody, just because the system is evil, doesn't mean that the people in the system is evil as well too. There's some people in the system who's trying to fight for a righteous cause, a good cause. That's why the Most High said, "Glory and honor to any man who worketh good." Any man who worketh good. So you guys you brothers and sisters gotta get it out your mind with this black and white thing. It's about a bloodline. It's about the race of Adam. Every man and woman. Okay? Satan is just using the heightened fact that the children of Israel is who he's after. But he hates all mankind. So is everybody. Okay? So we got to understand, and we got to be able to separate color from what's really happening here. And I was sitting down thinking about it. I'm like, yo, it's not just about race. Because we got to identify who started this. Who's the unseen hand behind this? The dragon has been brought down to earth. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth. It's not just us. And we cannot fight this by protesting and trying to stop the system that he created, that he stopped. The system is going to be the system, whether we hear or not, and whether we like it or not. What are we going to do to fight against the system spiritually? Because it's a spiritual battle. It's a spiritual hand. And those who bought into this battle will receive what they got in from this battle, from the system. Okay? So now we have to, like I said, we have to identify the hand behind it. Right? We understand Satan is behind this, right? He has a problem with the children of Israel and all mankind. Right? Now we have to speak out against those who's been working the system that he set up to continue to destroy the Most High's people and to laugh and scorn when we march and protest. Go to the book of Proverbs 11 and 21. You can get 2 scriptures in Proverbs. Proverbs 11 and 21.
Proverbs 11 verse 21.
Go ahead.
Though hand join in hand.
Though hand join in hand.
The wicked shall not be unpunished.
The what?
The wicked shall not be unpunished.
The wicked shall not be unpunished. So just because we march in hand with those who's not like us, doesn't mean that those who brought into the system will not go unpunished. We got to speak about the forefathers, your forefathers who've been oppressing us too. We got to identify that. We can't just act like nothing happened and now you for a righteous cause. Let's speak about this. Go ahead.
But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
The seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Okay, we got to speak about what's going on. Those who bought into the lie. Those who accept the system. We got to speak about that. Just because you want to disguise yourself and set up Black Lives Matter, don't mean you for our cause. What are you really doing? What are you really trying to fuel? You're not for my turn. You're not for my cause. Proverbs 16 and 5.
Proverbs 16 and 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Most High.
Everyone that is proud of heart is abomination to the Most High. This country boasts on pride. American pride. American born, American raised, American proud. Okay? Go ahead.
Though hand join in hand.
Though hand join in hand.
He shall not be unpunished.
He shall not be unpunished. So this system, right, that was set up under saying will not go unpunished. This is what we have to understand. So we know that those who follow Christ and read the Bible, right, who follow the records of our fathers, we understand what's going to happen. So we don't need to protest. We don't need to march. We don't need to stand outside of the parlor in front of the Washington D.C. and hold up signs and say Black Lives Matter. We don't need to do that. It's pointless because the system behind it will never change. You have to understand that the system will never change. What are you going to do to change? You can't change. None of us could change the system. None of us. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 6. By mercy.
That was it?
Yeah.
That was it. That was it
on 5.
On 5. Mm-hmm. Read verse 5 again.
Okay, Proverbs 16 and 5.
Yeah.
Everyone that is proud in the heart is an abomination to the Most High.
Everyone that's proud in heart is an abomination to the Most High.
Though hand join in hand.
Though hand join in hand.
He shall not be unpunished.
Shall not be unpunished. Okay? So after we come together, people first coming back to the Most High and understanding like, all right, you know what? We went off. We're suffering because we're not following our God. Now we all understand that we come together because we're the nation that's not desired, right? Now we can come together and speak about, okay, something got to give. We was taken from a land that we need back. Okay? We're not going to cover this up no more with jobs and a degree. We're not going to make it seem like everything is okay now because you allowed us to have jobs and to work for you. We got to speak, but we got to find out what we're doing here. Right? There got to be some indemnity. Somebody got to repay back something that we lost. We got to talk about that before we can even march. We don't even know what we're marching for anymore. We're just out there. Just walking around, feet tired, burning everything. Yeah, that was a good march, man. Turn on the news, young man gunned down by police at 10. What changed? Right? Like I said, this place was never designed for us. But like we just said, the Most High will repay. The unjust will not go unpunished. So what is going to happen here? Should we pray for a change here? Should we continue to pray for a change here? Should we continue to lean on me and sing these songs and we shall overcome and sing freedom ring? Should we continue to do that? Should we pray for that? Let's see what the Most High says. Go to Jeremiah 51. Okay. Jeremiah 51 and take it at verse 6. Let's read that.
Jeremiah 51 verse 6.
Go ahead.
Flee out of the midst of Babylon.
Flee what?
Flee out of the midst of Babylon.
Flee out of the midst of Babylon, because this place is not for your turn. You're not going to receive anything here. You was put here for a reason. You was put here for you to realize your faults. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. Go ahead.
And deliver every man his soul.
And deliver every man his soul. Not just the blacks and Hispanics, every man who's tired of this system. Because why? It's not going to change. You're going to see what the Most High going to say. It will never change. Go ahead.
Be not cut off in her iniquity.
See? Be not cut off in her iniquity. Go ahead.
For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance.
This is the time of the Lord's vengeance.
He will render unto her a recompense.
He will render unto Babylon a recompense. Because why? The system was built by Satan. It's starting to make sense now. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Most High's hand.
See? Babylon has been a golden cup in the Most High's hand. America. He used America for what he had to use it for. To punish his people. Those who went away from him. He used the last kingdom to punish those who went away from him. So how are you going to try to end your punishment earlier if before the Most High comes and finish it? Marching and protesting, and you're not even acknowledging the Most High who put you in that cause. Go ahead.
Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken.
You see, made all the earth drunken. Go ahead.
The nations have drunken of her wine.
The nation have drunken of her wine. Go ahead.
Therefore the nations are mad. Verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed.
Babylon will be suddenly fallen and destroyed. Go ahead.
Howl for her.
Howl for her.
Take balm for her pain.
Go ahead.
If so, she may be healed.
If so, she may be healed. You think that you're going to make a change? The Most High is saying that, let's see if she can heal. She can be healed. Try to patch her up if you want to. Try to see if you can try to adjust the laws to fit your likings and get equality and get equal rights. See if you can do that. Try. And as you can see, our people been trying. But the Most High have been already prophesied that it's not going to work. Go ahead.
Verse 8. No, verse 9. We would have healed Babylon.
See, the Most High said we would have healed this place. We would have fixed it so that way you can feel comfortable here. We would have had it so that you didn't have to march anymore. You didn't have to protest. We would have did it for you. But it is impossible because the system behind it, the hand behind it is against you from the beginning. Satan hates all of us in here. So it's not just a white man, black man, this. This system cannot be fixed. So protesting will not fix it. That's what our people don't understand. Go ahead.
We would have healed Babylon.
We would have healed Babylon.
But she is not healed.
She is not healed. Because look, we tried to, you protested, right? Yeah, we protested. The laws are still the same. Okay? The laws is still the same. You see that? Look at this. We gave you Malcolm X. Still the same. We gave you Martin Luther King. Still the same. We even gave you Reverend Al Sharpton. We even gave you Louis Farrakhan. Still the same. And we even gave you a black president, and it's still the same. Okay?
Well, they stopped racial profiling, stopping frisk.
They stopping frisk, but they're not stopping nothing. Okay? And
they're bringing it back though.
Check this out. Look at this image. I put this image up for a reason. I want you to see how they're playing with the people with this image right here. I want you guys to understand something, what the system was doing. Laughing at you this whole time. When Malcolm X stood up with the Nation of Islam, a different religion, they killed him. He started to rise. Then during his rise, Malcolm X started to realize something. He started to realize, like, look, yo, this is all a game. You know what? I think we really are those people in the Bible. So they killed him while the people was looking at him as a savior. Then what they do to pacify him? They rolled in Minister Farrakhan to take his place. When Martin Luther King was rising up, but I have a dream and all this, right? Later on in his campaign, he started to realize something, that he sold his people out. They killed him and got him out the way and did what? They gave you Reverend Al Sharpton for the Christians. So now Reverend Al Sharpton and Reverend Al Sharpton and Louis Farrakhan is getting old, right? No one is really paying attention to them no more. The black people is getting tired. We starting to march and fight again. What they do? They roll out President Barack Obama. And check this out. In the beginning of his campaign, he was for the Christians. And towards the end of his campaign, he was for the Muslims.
And the LG.
Everything. Look how they play with our people. They use these two religions to continue to play on the people's emotions, not really showing them how to really get out of this problem. The Most High did that purposely to show you a man is not going to take this away. Because we would have healed Babylon. Read that again. Verse 9. Verse 9.
We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
She is not healed.
Forsake her.
Forsake her.
And let us go everyone into his own country.
Let us go everyone into his own country. Go ahead.
For her judgment reacheth unto heaven.
You see that? The judgment has been set already on this place. So there's no fixing it. Go ahead.
And is lifted up even to the skies.
And is lifted up even to the skies. Go ahead.
The Most High hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord.
So we need to start declaring what the Most High will do here, instead of trying to go to the ones who's trying to destroy us through this system and seek refuge. We need to be speaking amongst ourselves. We need to be gathering with those who are like us. Because the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. We can't fight this system physically. So we have to do it spiritually under the Most High in Christ. What is the outcome? Go to Isaiah 52 to end this. Read from 1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 52, verse 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. Put on thy beautiful garments. O Jerusalem, the holy city.
O Jerusalem, the holy city.
For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean.
You see that? This is what's going to happen if we neglect this system, stop fighting to get a change in this system, and seek for our own freedom, our own land. This is what we will receive. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Shake thyself from the dust.
Shake thyself from the dust.
Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem.
Go ahead.
Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck.
Loose thyself from thy bands of thy neck.
O captive daughter of Zion.
You see that? Instead of us trying to separate from this system, we keep trying to integrate with the system. We keep trying to receive equal rights with this system when we should be trying to get away from the system. A system that was designed to destroy you will never be your equal. And our people is not getting it. This is why the Most High is calling you to get it. Blessed are your eyes and your ears to hear. Because our people are not getting it. They're gonna keep marching until those nuclear bombs hit. Christ is gonna be cracking the sky and they still gonna be marching for equal rights and peace. It's not going to happen. Integration integration with the system, I should say, is not the answer. Trying to be seen as an equal with the system will never change. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Verse 3. For thus saith the Most High, ye have sold yourselves for naught.
You have what?
Ye have sold yourselves for naught.
You have sold yourself for nothing. Why do you keep trying to be a part of the system that's not for you? What are they giving you in return? Absolutely nothing. Go ahead.
And ye shall be redeemed without money.
You see? You shall be redeemed without money. So it's the Most High who's going to do the saving. Not a mortal man. Not a mortal man. You shall be redeemed without money. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For thus saith the Lord power. My people went down aforetime into Egypt to sojourn there.
You see that? Go ahead.
And the Assyrian oppressed them without cause.
You see that? So our people went to Egypt the first time, and the Assyrians afflicted us for no reason, and the Egyptians. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Now therefore, What have I here, saith the Most High, that my people is taken away from naught? They that rule over them make them to howl.
You see that? You don't think the Most High hear and see what they doing to us here on this country? They make us howl. We keep on marching. We keep on protesting. We keep on complaining. That's what these nations are doing to us. Go ahead.
That they rule over them to make them howl, saith the Most High.
They rule over us to make us howl. They know what they're doing. And they laugh at us every time they see us march. And every time we raise up a man, the Most High brings him down. Go ahead.
And my name continually, every day is blasphemed.
Is what?
And my name continually, every day is blasphemed.
And the Most High's name is forgotten. See that? It's all about you. Black Lives Matter. Let's march, let's protest. But let's not call upon the one who's doing this. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Therefore my people shall know my name.
You see that?
Therefore they shall know it in the day that I am he that doeth speak. Behold, it is I.
It was the Most High the whole time. It was the Most High the whole time. Go ahead.
Verse 7. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace, that bringeth good tidings of good, that publisheth salvation, that saith unto Zion, thy God reigneth.
See, that's Christ. Christ will be able to do this for us. Christ will tell us our power reigns, our God reigns, not a man. You see that? Go ahead.
Verse 8. Verse 8. Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice. With the voice together they sing. For they shall see eye to eye.
We shall now see eye to eye once we come back to the Most High.
When the Most High shall bring again Zion.
When he shall bring again Zion. So we've been looking all over the place, trying to seek equality from a system that was set up by Satan himself, when we should have been looking at each other and looking towards the Most High and understand that the Most High will bring us out, not a man. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Break forth into joy. Sing together, ye waste places of Jerusalem. For the Most High hath comforted his people. He hath redeemed Jerusalem. Verse 10. The Most High hath made bare his holy arm in the eyes of all the nations. And all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our power.
And they will see it. They will understand what's going on. They will know what this battle was really about, truly and once and for all. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Depart ye, depart ye.
Depart ye, depart ye.
Go ye out from thence. Touch no unclean thing. Go ye out of the midst of her.
Go ye out of the midst of her, as we read in Jeremiah. Go ahead.
Be ye clean.
Be ye clean. Don't be integrated with this system. Separate yourselves from this system. Okay? Go ahead.
That bear the vessels of the Most High.
Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 12. For ye shall not go out with haste.
You shall not go out with haste.
Nor go by flight.
Nor go by flight. Go ahead.
For the Most High will go before you, and the God of Israel will be your reward.
Look at that. So it's the Most High who will deliver us out of this oppression. It's the Most High who will stop the racism once and for all. Go ahead.
13. Behold, my servant shall deal prudently.
See, that's talking about Christ. Go ahead.
He shall be exalted.
He shall be exalted.
And extolled. And be very high.
So we have to lift him up rather than lift up mortal men. Okay? We have to lift him up, Christ. Go ahead.
Verse 14. As many were astonied at thee, his visage was so marred more than any man, and his form more than the sons of men.
Go ahead.
Verse 15. So shall he sprinkle many nations. The kings shall shut their mouths at him. For that which ye had not been told, them shall they see, and that which they had not heard shall they consider.
You see that? So, in conclusion, this is what the Most High is saying. We've been looking the wrong place. A system set up from its inception to destroy the chosen and all mankind will never change for the good of humanity. It's designed to be this way until the Most High brings it down. Okay, we have to understand this. All right, we have to look back to our God for help and refuge, not a man. All right, and with that, that's the lesson in a nutshell. We want to give all praises to the Most High for that. Ahaya Ashar Ahaya Bahashem Yeshaya. So we'll go to the comment section real quick before we end the night. How's everybody doing in here? Cold still? All right, we do apologize about that, but let's
We need that football heater.
Yeah, we do need that.
We need that cannon heater.
But we do got some refreshments in the back, so hopefully that pick everybody up. All right. Go ahead.
All right, we're gonna go to the comment board. That was powerful this evening.
God, all praise to the Most High for the knowledge and information.
How could you follow that up, right? How could you follow that up? What would you say? Let's talk about it show. Thank you for watching this evening.
Shabbat Shalom to you.
It's amazing.
Thank you for coming in.
Shanae M, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, sister.
Vanessa, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Mr. Boston, Shabbat Shalom. Oh, Shanae says that little girl looked mean.
I guess she's talking about from the video that played.
Mm-hmm. Karen Copeland, if you're a first-time viewer, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for coming into the stream.
And that's a nice way you spell your name too. Miss Katana Carter, Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom, sister.
Ruth 1 and 16, Happy Sabbath, sister.
Happy Sabbath and Shabbat Shalom to you too, sister. Thank you for coming into the stream.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna botch it, but I'm gonna try. Isaac Wold McCall. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Isaac.
And Cassandra. Shabbat Shalom. All praises to Ahaya Bahashem Yeshaya Wabarak.
All praises.
All praises.
Definitely.
And Hens. I hope I said that right. Hendy's Hens. Happy Sabbath, brother.
Shabbat Shalom.
This is a nice one. Melanin Rich Nagast. Shabbat Shalom. You guys make some nice names, man.
Shabbat Shalom and Kwam Yashua.
Kwam Yashua. Nice names, man.
Definitely.
Nothing, Ak. Feeling that in caps.
Definitely nothing will change.
Feeling the spirit tonight. You're stirring it up tonight.
All praise to the Most High. We gotta wake up our people and show them like the truth.
You probably have people banging tables in their houses, stirring it up. Jeremy of all trades.
Shabbat Shalom.
Greetings, truth of Jacob. I thank you for the weekly lesson and the work that goes into the discussion.
All praise to the Most High.
Oh yes.
Thank you for the support.
It's all divine
and for the encouragement.
The Most High.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at this one. Always happy.
Always
That's
happy.
what I'm talking about. What time do you start streaming?
All right. Well, we're actually supposed to start at 8:30. We had some technical difficulties. We're in a new spot. Technical difficulties tonight with the internet, but we got it fixed. All praise to the Most High.
It's always a hurdle.
Yeah, but we got through it. So, but we supposed to come. We're gonna do that and come on more, promptly at 8:30.
But it's always a hurdle. It's always a hurdle. A computer flip, a car break down, someone run out of gas, no food, we don't got no refreshments, a mouse broke. It's always a hurdle, but we always overcome it, right?
Con.
So it's always 8 o'clock. We start the stream at 8 o'clock. 8:30?
8:30.
Yeah. Oh,
so
okay.
We do apologize for the tardiness, though.
That's right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we
Sister
got,
says
she's correct.
Usually start at 8:30-ish. Yeah, we're trying to do it exactly at 8:30.
Look, we're the people that are Most High, we
still getting it together, right?
We all working together, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We're going to go to the question real quick. I'm going to give away to the people first. Go ahead.
Vanessa, she says, did I skip anything? Okay, no, I didn't.
Nah, that's it.
Okay. Vanessa Donellis, pray for me last Sabbath in the U.S.
Oh, yes, definitely. I actually have to speak to you, too. I have some good information for you. So we'll definitely keep you in prayer, sister.
She says she took a lot from the lesson. Biggest thing is to not be angry or get upset over things that don't at least endanger my immediate life. That's right. Just to focus on the Most High, because He's the only answer. That's right.
All praise to the Most High, definitely.
Yeah, if somebody steps on your heels, you don't have to smack them anymore. Just dust your heels and then keep it moving. Right? Lascelles, he goes Shabbat Shalom, family, Khan for the lesson. It is imperative for us to come back to the Father. We are trying to make a change in a land that is not ours, and there's no way that's possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got it, brother. That's exactly what it is. We have to teach our people that as well too.
Yeah.
Gotta show them, like, look, this system was designed to be this way, for our punishment. From intercentric, right?
And he says, it's like getting dragged into someone's house and trying to tell them how to run it there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Khan.
Shabbat Shalom, Yashar. He says,
Shabbat Shalom.
Family, fabulous lesson, excellent lesson. It's amazing how Christ was freeing the people's minds, as you mentioned, and the Most High raised up brothers today to free our people's minds now.
Khan.
That's right.
That's the reason why Satan has to make war with the remnant of her seed, because we are the ones who's going to complete Christ's mission on earth, and he doesn't want that. He want to continue that racial divide, keep everybody separated, black, white, Chinese, everybody, to not get the understanding of the true power, the true God. That's what he's against. He's against the image of the Most High. He's against the Most High. So therefore, he will not teach the Most High. And if we're prophesied to teach the Most High to all the nations, to bring them back to the Most High, we will be the brunt of his attack. So yeah, all praise to the Most High. I know the sister in the room had Jenny. Had some. All praise to the Most High.
I also thought to say, it's a lot more. Like in terms of the definition, other entities having control, and then you don't even know, like, just things that you believe.
Right.
Even high school, they talk about, and it's like you come into all of these things that you were taught, like this is correct, it's all wrong, and we do have talks in school and have debates on like what are your thoughts on. But it was always leaning to like one way, like you kind of knew
that they was pushing you to do.
And at the end of the day, it was always that idea, like do as thou wilt. Like it's not me.
Right.
And
yeah,
I remember even when I first came, one of the first I had is like, is God doesn't. And then I had a question about when Christ.
That's talking.
Like, what is that talking?
That's talking about the acceptable year, meaning the year when, or not the year, but speaking about who is the Most High going to accept? Basically, when he spoke to the Samaritan woman, when he says that the Most High is looking for true worshipers, those who will worship him in spirit and in truth. So Christ came to show the real way, the real way of who the Most High is looking to accept. Basically, that's what that's really talking about.
When it says the acceptable year, that'd be the year.
That's
that
not
Christ
It's not talking about that's. We can even get that. Let's get what it said in the year in the Greek, because it's not talking about a physical year or a physical date. What scripture was that in again? We just read, yeah.
It made me think if Christ was teaching people about the acceptable year. I can't.
Well, it says acceptable, approved, right? So when you go into year, it goes into a year, but it's not talking about a specific year, like a specific date. It's talking about how we're gonna know what's acceptable to the Most High. This is what he came to show the people. Like you understand what I'm saying? Not like
the acceptable path.
Yeah. Like that's what he came to show that to the captives, to the lost. Right? All praises. Thank you. Anybody else in the room?
started out. Martin Luther King started at brought it to light that men and then America,
to that standard, right?
Then you talked about the 3/5
of a man,
woman, but both were sold
same
into
thing,
slavery and their family. But also, 5/5 of the man that was before Civil War, 17.
Yeah.
The Civil War supposedly is. But what I want to say, biblical principle that the Bible talks about, that nothing on our foundation is love, solid ground. Self was not built solid ground.
Right.
On love.
They didn't have us in mind when they drafted the Constitution. It was all Masonic men.
Exactly.
So they already knew the agenda.
Right. So right. Filled with hate. There was no love there, because you cannot have love for your fellow man. Try to alienate others and think you are better than others. But now we see, coming into now the 21st century, first it was really just black people. Now you see, I don't want to government. We want to start with it was the Indians, that was the black people, right? But now we see it trickling down.
Yeah.
Because the Hispanics thought they were not included.
Yeah.
And now we see it reach them, right? And we see the Chinese thought they were not included.
It's everybody.
History showed way back when they were persecuted as well. They're not excluded. Muslims, they're not excluded. So you see now it's a minority of people in the brunt of this racism, injustice. I was watching the news last night. I was in total shock that you have this apartment. Most of the occupants are, but the no wages, and building is owned by, I don't want to say who, but you know who probably owned the building. And
Jewish.
The people came home from work and couldn't enter the building. They were all evicted.
Wow. No notice.
No notice. They were all evicted. The building was that
boarded.
Tape was around it, and they couldn't even go inside to get their sign. Yeah, they were Chinese. They were, that was so sad.
Yeah.
And this lady was saying she just came from work. She can't go to work the next day with no clothes. And the Red Cross had the Red Cross off guard because they had a transit bus. Right. And last night was very cold.
Yeah.
And you had to be in here. So you see the wickedness. That is evil.
Yeah, of course. This system.
That is wicked. These people, they didn't say they didn't pay their rent. No, and for tenant, the man wanted to
more money. Yeah, of course. That's just basically
sadness and all of this. So it is oppression, and that when our people press, what happens? Scripture said, God heard the Most High heard the cry.
Right.
Exactly. So we are the ones that are praying, because the Bible said we need to pray. You brought that out in the and once he's gonna hear our cry.
Yeah, that's we have to turn back to him, and
prayer. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the only way. That's right on.
That are here who are praying for the others who are being oppressed.
Of course.
I think it's so terrible.
All praise to the Most High, definitely.
And they break up the family with black men. Thank God.
All praise to the Most High, definitely. Thank you for that. That was great. Right back to the comment board real quick, because we're gonna bid you all Godspeed. Sel says, I'm back. I think I'm feeling it tonight. He said, really thinking about how us as a nation, we like a kite taking with every wind of doctrine, Egyptology, Islam, Christianity, right? He said, I've never heard a Chinese dude fix his lips to tell me that he's God, right? Powerful lesson, all praises to the Most High. The Shabbat is always spiritual and rejuvenating. Khan. We know this, the Most High says it's the spirit that quickeneth and revives us, right? So we want to thank you, brothers and sisters, for coming in tonight. You know, with this lesson, you know, share this lesson out with some people you know who's trying to save this system. Let them see, you know, explain to them. Try to bring them back to what we lost. You understand? So that way we can, you know, really be free under our God and under Christ, right? So, any closing remarks before we end this?
To close, let's just cut the foolishness and stop blaming other people for our situations, and let's just realize that we're in control of our own situations and we know who our God is, and we just do what we got to do to get out of our situations and use our power with each other, because through the scriptures and our faith, we know we got a lot of power. So let's just use our skills and talents amongst each other and reconnect with each other and just make everything better for ourselves. We don't got to continue to complain and blame other people, and look at ourselves and we'll be just fine, and keep the spirit going and keep the motivation going. And one more extra thing, 250,000 people filled that area to see Martin Luther King. Why? Because they believed what he was saying. If we believe what Christ is saying, we'll be even greater. So let's just keep that in mind as we move forward.
God, definitely all praises for the Most High for that. Definitely. Right? Okay, wait. Somebody says Satan working, trying to donate to the page, and it literally won't let me. And somebody else says, same here. And it keeps stopping my lesson watch since I watch with my brother on TV. Well, you know, just keep trying, keep refreshing your page, and, you know, Most High will prevail. Right? So we want to thank you, brothers and sisters, for coming in on this Sabbath. You guys could have been anywhere on a Friday night, but you guys are here with us with the Body of Christ Kingdom. And we want to just tell you guys to stay encouraged, right? Keep on seeking and keep on fighting for the Most High. Keep on striving for righteousness and fighting for righteousness, right? Don't let nobody stop you. Don't let this system stop you, right? Because soon we shall see Zion, right? So we want to bid you a hearty Shabbat Shalom and a Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.
All right? Till next week, brothers and sisters, if it be the Most High will. Praises to the Most High.